Yo guys, welcome back to another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. Okay, so in today's video, we are literally going to be doing 7 zone. Now, to cover some of the things that may have been missed, few details. Obviously, I have my PC now. I've got nearly everything installed. I'm in the process of recovering everything that I lost previously. Sorry, I'm just moving my microphone there. I haven't used it in a while, so getting used to it again, like after like 3 weeks since I've used my microphone. But yeah, so I have the PC, I've recovered and installed I think nearly everything I need. I'm in the process of recovering all of my assets that I had previously. I do have an overlay, but there is a sizing issue currently, so we're going to just do this video without it. Anyway, without rambling anymore, we're doing 7th zone. This is the team. And the reason I haven't decided what 7th zone is because this team can beat any AOE 7th zone. That's how confident I am with this team, and it's simply because of new Finn. The new win Finn, sorry. And mainly it's because of his, well, not mainly, it is literally just because of his skill 2 right here. AOE, Ultra Uncounter, Physical Resist, Magic Resist, and all elemental resistances buffs are reduced by 3 turns. Now, unless they bring out a 7th zone where the enemy buffs their elemental resistance by like 6 turns every other turn, this will continue to work on every 7th zone. Or AOE, sorry, I should put that. Every AOE 7th zone. I mean, it will work on single target as well, but I don't... Oh, yeah, it probably will work on single target. I'm going to test that when there's a single target. You believe me on that one. Anyway, I'm going to go over the team, and then we're going to explain the strategy. Fire team, you know, okay, we'll go over core members first. I think that's more important. So firstly, Alice is here because Alice's skill 1 lowers fire resistance by 40%. Now, I'm pretty sure enemies start with 90% resistance to any element they're not weak to. This will cut that down to 50%. She also buffs her fire strength and fire damage by 60% anyway, so it sort of, you're reducing the amount of resistance or how much damage mitigation the enemy is going to be able to create through their resistances. Kaguya, the other core member, literally just because of her, where are you, skill 2, lowering physical resistance by 35% and boosting her own strength by 60%. Now these are, the strength boost is sort of null and void once Haruhime SAs. But it's still, for the resistance alone, is worth it, especially when Alice is the main damage dealer on the team. I will go over the team strategy. As usual, we have Haruhime there for the SA buff and debuff extension. On her, we have Orna for the guard and counter rate increases, as well as the physical resist and magic resist debuff. Kaguya, I've explained what she's there for. I've got Finn on her for the increased SA gauge charge, plus the additional, you know, 10% buffs of everything else that he gives. Line for the SA gauge charge. Fastest is there for the fire, water, magic. You know, I'm not using magic or water, but plus, is it 15% or 10%? I think it's 10% fire. Yeah, 10% fire and water, 15% magic that it buffs, but 10% fire damage. I'm not going to say no to that. Then Alice, obviously, for the damage, as well as the fire resist debuff. And then on her, we have outside of Rare Eyes for the single target and AOE damage increase, as she also increases Alice's strength by 15%. The first subunit here is Elmina. Now, you can use the Light Eyes, who basically does the same thing on her skill 1. She increases AOE damage by 30%. The difference here is Eyes also decreases guard rate by 30%. Where Elmina doesn't. On Elmina we have Apollo. Now I only got Apollo and I hadn't had him for so long, and I got him on a, I can't remember where I got him. Oh, I got him from the freestar, one of the freestar 11 draw tickets we've been getting daily. And then finally, you know what Finn is here for. And then on him we have Freya. Now Finn is level 60, 3-star hero ascension. He's not doing any damage. So the important thing to remember here is that you have to be responsive to when the enemy buffs their resistances, and because he's level 60, he's going to run out of MP very quickly. So there's two factors we need. One is to make sure that he stays alive. Two is to make sure that we're not wasting MP so that he can't remove resistance buffs later on. In saying all that, you will need is it stun or seal? I think it's stun anklets. Yes, it's stun anklets. Stun anklets for this, and obviously because Freya gives 100% ailment resistance, I don't need stun anklets, so I put what have I got on him? I put a dark coat on him because I was doing dark zone, but we can change that. I'll do that right now actually. Because this is the team that I beat dark zone with. I actually beat earth zone without using this team beforehand, so I'm gonna actually go in and do earth zone now, and I'll take the earth coat. Endurance and thing, yeah, not fantastic, but and he's taking, okay, so he's taking a loss here. It is earth zone, right? Yeah, earth zone, cool. And we're gonna jump in. Hopefully auto battle's not on. It's not on, that's okay, fantastic. Right, so oh, they really talk here today. Okay, so turn 1 Arcanate. Okay, I'm using skill 1 turn 1 because her skill 2 only lasts for 1 turn, so there's no point doing that on a turn that I'm not going to extend it. It just seems a waste. Anyway, so SA charge from Line. No, I didn't mean to hold that, my apologies. And then skill 1 to lower resistances. Before we actually click go, I do need to confirm I was right. Yep, 90% resistances, so minus 10% and then 90 across the board. Excuse me while I take a drink. The one thing I will say is there's always going to be an element of RNG to this, because the single target, and there's always going to be that instance where they have, okay, so we've lost Line, it doesn't matter. We're going for the clear, we're not going for the S clear. We were never going to get an S clear anyway. Line served her purpose, it's fine for her to die. And that sounds horrible, but it is what it is. I should have said that in the beginning. This is not to S clear. Like light and wind units are some of my weakest units in the game still, even with the current buff. I mean, for AOE specifically, I don't really have many or any good light units or wind units. Alright, so we're going to use Yasuga to extend buffs here. Now we're going to skill 2 to get that physical resist debuff. We should check here just to show you that 90% is now 40% now. Hear me out. From what I understand, the damage typing is additive. So the physical resist debuff coupled with the damage is added together. So you're doing physical damage and fire damage. They're labeled separately, but they're sort of added together as if they're the same type of damage, if that makes sense. So like, essentially, if you pair these two together, that would become 30% resistance to a physical fire unit, because the minus 10% is deducted from the 40%. I know I might not be explaining it fantastically. I hope that you follow. So when we do this minus 35%, essentially this is going to become these units here will take minus 5% damage from any physical fire unit, because these two damage types are calculated similarly. I may be wrong. I do need to confirm with some friends of mine maybe, but this is how I understand it, and this is how it seems to be reacting, or it seems to be the case when I do these things. Now we're just going to spam skill 2 on Alice for no reason, because there's nothing else to do, sorry. Skill 3 on Elmina for the AOE damage increase. God, you can tell I haven't made an actual video in a while, can't you? I'm kind of droning on a bit. Anyway, like, let's get on with the turn. There's the debuffs. You can honestly, like, on these AOE 7 zones, it's a case of they do these single target attacks specifically to try and counter healers, because obviously if you're not hitting the healer who heals on counter, you can't heal. Okay, so they have their resistance up now. Look, this is now 60%, and if you go down, right, here's the thing. So these are the buffs. We can't get rid of the strength buff, unfortunately, but they have 3 turns on all of their resistance buffs. So we skill 2 here. and then we go back to skill 1, and we're just going to spam for damage now until we get SAs. We should get an SA this turn for next turn. See, at the minute the damage is not fantastic, but it's not horrible. Like it's on the lower end. But as you can see, those resistance buffs are gone. And that was a buttload of damage there. Nearly 3,000 damage. Okay, right, so we'll check the resistances. Say minus 45% physical resistance, so they're basically on minus 5% that resistance to a physical fire unit. That's where we're at, if you're following along. Now to preserve MP, we're just going to switch to attack and go from here. We're going to SA with Haruhime, give everyone the strength buff. Now it's sort of a judgment call here. Like, I haven't done the maths specifically to calculate what SA would be more beneficial in what order afterwards, because I have been doing both. I do Kaguya's SA to decrease physical resistance even further, and then use Alice's SAs consistently after that, because she's the bulk damage dealer. See, this is turns like that are what I'm talking about. If I hadn't just used Haruhime's SA, that Kaguya would be in real trouble, because they just basically spam damaged her because they could. So on turn 5, the resistances haven't come back, and that's the good thing. You don't have to plan ahead, because he's so slow. Anyway, you can just be reactive to it. There is no pressure in this 7th zone. I mean, especially if you're just trying to get the first clear rewards, it's not really that big a deal. So we're just going to continue to normal attack to preserve MP. Mainly because if you want to be meticulous about it, you probably can calculate when they're going to buff their resistances, and use that to calculate what other skills you could how many other times you can use his skills without running out of MP before you finish. But that's completely, that's on you. I'm just here with a team template that me and my family were discussing and things like that, and it just works. I do need to test to see if it works with other elements as well as fire. Like currently, I'm thinking it may work with dark if you have Goblin Slayer and Otal, but I could be wrong. Okay, so second SA, we're going to lower physical resistance by 60%. That's an additional 25% decrease in resistance, if I am calculating all that correctly. I was going to say, but don't quote me on that, but I'm here with a video anyway, so it's like, shut up, LD. Anyway, right, so Haruhime basically does nothing except Yasuga and then Sheikah when she's running low on MP. There's nothing else here for her to do, really. I don't know if this will do fantastic damage, but I mean 150k, like we're up on turn 6 now. Obviously not done significant amount of damage, but we're still technically in the prep stage. Like, we're still rolling up to where the damage is going to start coming from. The only thing I can't take into consideration when doing this build is that I can't remove strength and magic debuffs, so you're just going to have to roll with the punches on that one. We're going to take a risk here. I'm going to use Sheikah before I run out of MP, which could be problematic if they decide to just pick on one person. But yeah, alright, so we're going to go for this. And I should, not this turn, but next turn I should get an SA. And that's when I'm going to use Alice's SA, which it's beneficial for both her and Kaguya in a way, because it increases fire damage. So, creating more of a distance between their resistance and how much damage you can do and things like that. It's where we're going. Okay, so we're going to have to remove these resistances again. But we're down to minus 70% physical resistance, which means after we remove this additional buff, if I scroll down and I'll show you how much they're actually buffing here, it's 20%. Oh wait, I've closed it again. So that'll go back to 40%, which means they'll be taking, it'll go down to 40%. They'll be taking minus 30% damage from physical fire damage users. That's without including any of the buffs we have applied. That's just strictly based on debuffs. Did I Sheikah before, or did I Yasuga? I don't think I did Sheikah. Yes. That's what happens when you focus more on commentary. You lose track of everything. Or you lose track of some stuff. Not everything. Okay, so we're going to remove their resistance debuffs again. I mean, 100k even with all of those resistances with Alice is pretty cool. Kaguya's additional hits obviously do add up. I won't say that they carry, you know, entirely, but they do make up a good difference for these turns where you've got she's doing like 50k. Okay, right, so here we go. We're going to use Suga again because we want to extend the buffs and everything. We're going to keep people alive. Next turn may be a bit risky from it though, if I have to use Sheikah and then can't keep Finn alive, because that's the priority. We need to keep Finn alive because they'll die eventually regardless of what turn it is. I mean, I think I finished it turn 17 for Dark Zone, and that was without actually paying attention to what turns I was doing anything on. I was just reacting to what I was seeing and then playing out of reflex basically. I mean, 400k, you know, on a zone that she's supposedly not supposed to be strong against. I mean, the damage is really starting to pile up there, though. Like, though, that was a little bit of damage. I said, well, it was more than a little bit. Let's be honest, it was way more than a little bit of damage, but still, no resistances, and then we're just back to the usual. And then hope we hope that if they hit this turn, it's just mostly AOEs. Was that 200k, 200 plus k, nearly 300k? Yeah, we're good. Whoa, okay, Kaguya may die. No, there we go. That's the type of stuff the RNG, like, it may take you a few runs because RNG may decide that one of your members has to die, and that might screw up your whole run. But if everything goes to plan, it should be fine. And then we're just going to SA again. There's no additional resistances. Unfortunately, she does have the strength debuff, but she's still going to do more damage than Kaguya will anyway, so we're just going to go with it. I haven't really paid attention to what turn we're on, but we're coming up on 17 minutes of recording. I'm so sorry I've made this video longer, and I've just done my best to really explain how everything should work here. I know it shouldn't take this long to do 7th zone ever, but over 400k is effectively what we're what we're hitting on 7th zone that's supposed to be completely resistant to anything except wind. I mean, we're turn 11, and look at the giant leap in damage we've now experienced anyway. Yeah, so minus 30%. Oh wait, why am I clicking on Alice? As if, okay, and then we come over here now. Alice has 100% strength and it's at 160. So what if you so minus 30% resistance, and then we have an additional 160% damage. So it's 190% damage of our base attacks that they're taking basically. So what we're saying here is basically they're no longer resistant to physical fire damage. I mean, 150k, 100k from Kaguya, it's pretty sweet. I mean, this is pretty much going to be my go-to team for every AOE 7th zone that I'm not particularly strong with. I mean, we've reached that point now where Haruhime has to you go back and forth between Sheikah and Yasuga. Okay, I'm having to use Finn's skill 2 again, but as you can see, still hitting 120k on with Alice's AOE even without it. If I can get an SA with Alice without a strength debuff, then that will go a real long way, but I don't think we're going to get that. Okay, I may be quiet and fast forward through this bit just to get to the final turns, because you understand the mechanics of everything's going on now. We're not going to S-clear it regardless. We're actually so close. Oh, wait. I'm gonna clear it in 15 turns. Okay. I think RNG was on my side this time. I'm actually a little bit shocked there. I didn't realize. Yeah, okay, so if I can come back and do it without anyone dying, I will have S-cleared it. That's pretty sweet. I'm really happy with that, actually. That's a nice surprise to come back for a first video with a new PC. Damn, that is 9.4 million as well. I mean, I can't not be happy about that. Okay, guys. I'm sorry the video went on for so long, 20 minutes, but I'm happy to be back with the computer. Quality will improve drastically once I'm all set up and running. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not, like if you did enjoy the video, social media links, all that good stuff, and as always guys, I'll catch you later.